Good morning to all. I introduce myself first. I am M. Subramanian, retired professor of English at Annamalai University. I have put in 32 years of teaching service in Annamalai University. Now I am going to present how to enrich your vocabulary. First I will speak the importance of vocabulary, then classification of vocabulary, then source of vocabulary. These three items I am going to present in this video. First, that sentence or any language has three parts. One, structure of the sentence, then vocabulary, then pronunciation. Of this, vocabulary is the one which decides the efficiency and the scholarship of the person who uses that language. And every person has to enrich his vocabulary to make his writing effective and emphatic. And for this, I have given reasons. I can simply say, right word in right place is the axiom for effective and emphatic communication. Appropriate word in any conversation or in any writing will fascinate the learners. Rich vocabulary is a sign for a great scholar. Grand style is possible only when there is use of different words. Rich vocabulary will command respect, admiration among the listeners and readers. Dr. Samuel Johnson, the greatest writer who was called the dictator in literature, had become popular because of his inflated or high-flown language. Since he compiled the dictionary, words were at his fingertips. He was able to use the words in different ways, and as a result, he was able to win in any argument with his friends or his counterparts. As a result, he was named as literary dictator. So, but if the words are not sufficient, you have to speak in a roundabout manner, which will be uninteresting, monotonous, unpleasing. Therefore, you have to completely enrich your vocabulary. Vocabulary can be classified into two. The vocabulary used in the subject or in a particular department, particular discipline, and the vocabulary used in everyday life. And such vocabularies are that this vocabulary used in the department, they may be the definition for the subject, or description of the subject, or explanation of the subject, the concept, the theme of the subject. And there is another one, the vocabulary used in everyday conversation, that is meant for communication. And one has to acquire. It can be classified into three. Vocabulary can be classified into three: active vocabulary, passive vocabulary, and ad hoc vocabulary. Active vocabulary is nothing but the vocabulary that is known to us, that we use in every day. Every man has some knowledge in English, particularly with reference to vocabulary. And he may not reach so much, and therefore, whatever he knows, whatever he uses is called active vocabulary. That is another one, passive vocabulary, that is rarely used. Most of the great writers have become popular only by using the passive vocabulary. Passive vocabulary is the word that we did not concentrate, we do not think to develop it, and therefore we are unable to write good writing. Therefore, what we have to do is, we have to concentrate only in passive vocabulary. There is another vocabulary, that is ad hoc vocabulary. That is very, very rarely they are used. And therefore, we have to classify this ad hoc vocabulary, and we have to understand. But we need not learn too much, we will not concentrate too much on ad hoc vocabulary. But what we have to concentrate is passive vocabulary, for which I have given so much classifying the vocabulary into active vocabulary, passive vocabulary, and ad hoc vocabulary.